So, okay everybody, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and finally make a little hill. It might end up as Mount Doomed if I don't succeed, but we'll see how this works. So basically what we need for this is plaster bandage, water, a base. You could use anything, you don't even have to use a, I'm using the top of an egg box, but you don't need to do this. You can also use a normal newspaper. You need something to put it on. This is normal foam core, and you also need scissors to cut these into shape, and then you're good to go. So I've never worked with this before, so this is going to be a huge adventure. I bought these off of the internet of Amazon. They come with instructions using Art Rock. Art Rock is a plaster and resin impregnated bandage that can be used to quickly and easily create large structures that are light but strong. Protect surfaces. Residual plaster will wash off with soap and water, but for sensitive skin wear protective gloves. Prepare all the materials including a container for cold water. Create a form from wire, screwed up newspaper, cardboard, balloon, etc. Allow for at least 3 layers. Use scissors to cut a quantity of various sizes and shapes sufficient to complete the whole model. Store these pieces in a dry area. Dip a piece of Art Rock into cold water. Make sure the entire strip is wet, but shake off any surplus water. Immediately apply it, because apparently this sets within 3 minutes. So we're running against the clock here. So I have made sure that my hands are completely dry, because apparently as soon as water touches this, it'll start reacting. So I might actually speed up the video later, but let's see. So we're first gonna, so what we want is we want kind of like to have it like so. So this should be big enough. Then we have a strip like, so we need 3 layers. 1, oops, 2, and the 3rd layer. And then we're going to put one across like so. And then I will leave it at that, and I will not put a 4th layer on this. We'll see how this works. Okay, so I can still cut them later. So I'm going to put this in here. Soak it completely. Shake off excess water and apply. Okay, so I have never done this before. I have seen a tutorial video on this, so we'll see how this works. Next one. And if I need to put on more layers, I have enough of this material, so we'll be fine. Okay. And 1 layer like so. And then 1 layer like so across. I also have plaster of Paris in a pot outside that I can use to finish off sides that we don't like or that we're unhappy with. So like so. And I do believe I will have to add something here because I don't want this to stick out. but you can already see that this would be a nice hill that you could find somewhere in the Shire maybe. Or it could be a barrow, who knows. Put in a couple of whites and you'll be fine, I guess. So, drying off my hands. You see, I'm good at reading instructions, I'm not so good at following them usually, so I'm just going to cut off one more piece. Soak it in water. The last time I used those, I was being used as a model for, that was in the very old days when this was actually used to make casts in hospitals for broken limbs, and my mother was teaching students how to do this at the college she was teaching at, and they always needed somebody to actually sit there and have their limbs plastered up, so I would have been on the receiving end of this treatment. But of course this didn't set in 3 minutes, so there have been advances in the last 30 years. Okay, now what we need to do is we just need to let this rest. And while we're doing this, I'm going to switch off the video because just watching this rest is as interesting as literally watching paint dry. So, hello everybody, here we are back. It's now 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. This one has now been drying for 24 hours. I put it in front of a radiator. Then I put it in the hot press and it is dry and it's quite solid. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spray paint it with grey paint because it is going to be a hill, and then we will talk about flocking and other things. So here we are back with our newly sprayed hill. I didn't use primer for this, but actual spray paint. So now what we're going to do is, and this is a first, I've never done this before. I've got scenic spray glue, which you're supposed to actually spray onto terrain to make stuff stick to it. Obviously it's glue, so shake well. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this spring green rough terrain mat on it. So I got this off of the guys where I bought the so basically what you do is you do it like so, it sculpts onto it. So let me see, is this actually sticky on? No. So basically this is kind of plasticky on the end, on the edge. So what you do is you sculpt it on, and it actually is really soft material, and it can hold a position quite well. So you can actually put it into the nook and crannies. So let's see how this works. We will have to cut it obviously, but that's fine. You can cut it into pieces, not a problem. Oops. Okay, so this spray action isn't really all it's cracked up to be, because it's actually... Okay, we'll do this differently. If in doubt, take loads. Oh, what have we here? Maybe this was the reason why it wasn't working. Let's try this again. It is sticky, all right. It's sticking to my fingers. Okay, so this is really not working. I mean, like I said, I've never used it before for this. Okay, so now I need to wash my hands. This is messier than I thought it would be, but it's also fun. Okay, let's see. So we're gonna cut this this into pieces. And we're going to put it onto this hillock like so. Yeah, that's actually not too bad at all. I'm pretty pleased. Mess. There's some of this over here. So, okay everybody, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and finally make a little hill. It might end up as Mount Doomed if I don't succeed, but we'll see how this works. So basically what we need for this is plaster bandage, water, So, okay everybody, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and finally make a little hill. It might end up as Mount Doomed if I don't succeed, but we'll see how this works. So basically what we need for this is plaster bandage, water, So, okay everybody, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and finally make a little hill. It might end up as Mount Doomed if I don't succeed, but we'll see how this works. So basically what we need for this is plaster bandage, water, So, okay everybody, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and finally make a little hill. It might end up as Mount Doomed if I don't succeed, but we'll see how this works. So basically what we need for this is plaster bandage, water, So, okay everybody, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and finally make a little hill. It might end up as Mount Doomed if I don't succeed, but we'll see how this works. So basically what we need for this is plaster bandage, water, So, okay everybody, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and finally make a little hill. It might end up as Mount Doomed if I don't succeed, but we'll see how this works. So basically what we need for this is plaster bandage, water, So, okay everybody, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and finally make a little hill. It might end up as Mount Doomed if I don't succeed, but we'll see how this works.